Well, Thomas was very excited. He'd heard that there was a brand new Science and Technology Museum in Ottawa, and it had been quite a while since he'd been there, and he thought to himself, "Oi, I should go and see my friend Connor, and we can go and visit the new museum. It will be so much fun." Well, he had to get everything arranged, so he went up to Sir Topham Hatt and said, "Oh, Sir Topham Hatt, I'd really like to have a vacation. I've been working very hard this year, and I think I deserve one." "Oh, of course you do, son. Go ahead and go take your vacation. Where are you going to?" "Well, I thought I'd go to Ottawa and see my friend Connor. It's been a while. And then I could go to the museum with him, a brand new museum of science and technology. I hear they've got some very, very nice steam engines there." "Well," said Sir Topham Hatt, "that sounds like something that you must do. Go ahead and give my regards to the head of the museum there. Tell him that Sir Topham Hatt tops his hat to him and wishes him all the best in his new ventures with the new museum." "Oh, I certainly will do that, sir. Certainly will." Well, Thomas was so excited, but the first thing he did was he got on the phone and he gave Connor a call. Ring, 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 ring. And when Connor picked up the phone, he was thrilled. "Thomas, it's been so long since I've heard from you." "Yes," said Thomas, "and I haven't heard from you either. That makes two of us. I wonder why." "Well," said Connor, laughing, he said, "of course Thomas should know that if I'm talking to him, he's not talking to me, and if I can't hear him, he can't hear me either." Well, but he let it go, and he said, "What do I owe the honor of this phone call?" "Well, I was thinking of coming and seeing the new Museum of Science and Technology in Ottawa." "Well, that would be wonderful. Come on down." "It'll take me a little while to get there." "How do you plan to get there?" "Well, I think I'm going to take Tidy across the ocean, and I'll go to Montreal. Excuse me. I'll go to Halifax, and there I'll get unloaded, and I'll get on the line that the ocean uses, and I'll go all the way to Ottawa." "Oh, that sounds wonderful. Now, did I tell you something? Thomas? That right now I'm in Halifax?" "Oh, you will? You're not in Ottawa?" "No, but if you come, you can pick me up, and I can take you all the way to Ottawa." "Oh, that would be very good. How do you think you should do it?" "Well, I'll come down to the main station, and I can hop on, and away we go." Well, that sounds like a wonderful idea. So that's exactly what Thomas did. He called up Tidy, and Tidy was just delighted to be able to go across the ocean again to Halifax. He didn't go there very often, but he really liked going there. And in no time at all, he'd arranged to take Tidy over and put him on the dock, and there was Connor waiting for him at the station. Well, he gave Thomas a big hug, and Thomas was just thrilled. He said, "Oh, you've grown up a lot since the last time I saw you." "Yes," said Connor. "I remember meeting you when I was just a little boy, and now I'm pretty well grown up. But I'm still your friend, and you're still my friend, aren't you?" "Oh, of course I am," said Thomas. "Friends for life." Well, Connor hopped on board, and the next thing they knew, they were flying along. They could go really fast because they weren't hauling any cars or anything like that. And Connor, of course, had arranged before to have coal at all the different stations along the way that they needed. There was still lots of coal being mined in Cape Breton, and they were using it for various types of purposes. And of course, one of them was for steam engines that were left. Well, it took about a day to get all the way to Ottawa, but when they got there, the first thing they did was they went over to his daddy's house, to my house. Well, I was delighted to have the two of them show up, for sure. Connor had told me before that he was coming down with a very special friend, but he hadn't told me it was Thomas. But when I saw Thomas, I thought, oh, of course it would be Thomas. Who else would it be? Yes, well, I invited them both in, and they explained their grand adventure that they were planning to have to go to the museum. Well, I said, it's closed now, but if you go early in the morning, how about if we all go together? Oh, I'd rather just go with Thomas, said Connor. Okay, then.
I said yes.
Pardon me?
Yes, I said, I told you that I would just rather go with Thomas.
Yeah, that's what I was, so very early next morning, after having French toast and lots of maple syrup, off Connor and Thomas went to the museum. Well, when they first got there, they realized, what? The parking lot's gone. What? Also, they've got rid of the steam engine that was out in front. Well, I could put it inside now. They're repairing it. Did you know that? No, I didn't. Well, yes, they're going to get it up and running again. That's marvelous. Yes, they have a number of station trains that run very well, you know, that they've fixed up. They have some of them in the museum here. Well, let's go check it out. So they went around behind and they were quite impressed to see all the new tracks being laid and the big equipment that was laying down ties and taking up ties and spreading crushed stone. And there were lots of men working there saying, "Oi, over here, load the stone over here." And big machines going, yes, and cranes going squeak as they lifted things and turned things around. Well, Thomas was very impressed with the outside of the museum. Oh, it looks so beautiful. Oh, it's a wonderful job they've done. Yes, said Connor, it's really nice. It's really nice on the inside too. Well, what are we waiting for? Well, as soon as it went in the door, all the little children saw Thomas. And they came running over and saying, "Thomas, Thomas, hello, Thomas, look, it's here. Thomas is here in Ottawa." Well, he spent a lot of time signing autographs and getting pictures taken with people and selfies as well too. But finally they had a chance to go in and take a look at all the exhibits. And they went and they looked at all the different types of things that were there. They looked at the indigenous technology, and they looked at the steam technology and the boat technology, and they looked at the satellite technology and the light technology and the electronic technology, and they went and saw the trains. Well, the trains were just so delighted to see Thomas. It had been so long since they'd been there, and he wanted to tell them all about the things that had been happening back at his home, and also what had been going on in London. He said, "It's a terrible shame, this Brexit. Everybody's up in an uproar. I myself, I don't really care. I'm just happy to be on my branch line, pulling my cars back and forth, and doing my job like a good engine should." Well, they went and saw the whole museum, and then they went into the gift shop. They looked around, and guess what? There was a nice little shirt that Thomas liked. He said, "I'm going to take this back. Yes, it'll be just the thing that I need when I'm back home." Well, he bought it. Of course, Connor paid for it because Connor had his debit card. And
yes, I did. I paid for it.
Yes, and besides, Thomas only had English money, English pounds, and they couldn't really use them here. So, well, then after they were finished, they went back to my place and had a wonderful steak on the barbecue. It was so delicious. And they had mashed potatoes. And then afterwards, all the critters came down to have a big party. And they danced and they played and they sang. And everybody had a wonderful time together until they were very tired. It was time to go to bed. So they all said good night to each other. They went up and they brushed their teeth and they scrubbed their paws and they rushed. They cleaned their face. They all piled into bed together and pulled up the blankets. And Daddy came and told them a story, and then everybody went to bed. And that's the end of the story.
That was excellent.